You absolute bloody legends. Welcome back to another episode of Fat Chat by Body Majic. Now, Matt, I'm actually solo in the studio this morning. Matt will be joining us for some segments later on in the episode. But the reason why I'm solo is because we have got a very special guest on Fat Chat starting off the morning here. We've obviously been talking about our half marathon run club over the last few weeks and how me and Matt are putting together a team of absolute beginner runners. And in 16 weeks, we're going to put together a program that takes you from zero running ability to be able to finish a half marathon in October, which we're bloody excited about. And the team is building. We're getting people signing up. We're getting people involved. It's been great. We chatted to Alex last week, who we're going to be following her journey a little bit throughout the process. But what I'm very excited about is to introduce the guest that I've got with us this morning, because 12 months ago, he actually signed up to the other challenge that we've done here on Fat Chat, the Fat Chat Challenge, and he was the winner of the Fat Chat Challenge. He has lost over 20 kilos in the last 12 months. It is an absolute one of the best transformations that I have ever been a part of and ever seen and worked with, and I'm so excited to have him on right now. CJ, please, everybody, welcome CJ. How are you, mate?
Yeah, doing really well, Gerard. Getting through the morning and yeah, glad to be here and have a chat.
Fantastic. So everybody playing at home, we've obviously got Alex that we're going to be keeping up with the story and all of her ups and downs and everything that goes along with doing an endurance event and challenge like this. But we're also going to be following along CJ's journey. So a little bit of a summary. I sort of just touched on it before. You did the Fat Chat Challenge 12 months ago. Has lost over 20 kilos. You've still been coming to every Saturday morning session, training yourself, all those good positive habits that we've been able to build all over that time. You've just kept building and continuing on with, which has been great. What's the last 12 months been like for you?
It's been incredible, really. I really didn't think I'd get this far, to be honest. I think last time we chatted on the podcast was like just after the Fat Chat stuff finished, and I still couldn't really comprehend that the changes that had happened over that 12 weeks
Absolutely
had happened. But continuing on after that, the changes that were made weren't just those 12 weeks. It's flowed on to everything that I've done at home. Like I said, still coming down regularly on a Saturday morning, getting out and kicking the footy with my kids, their footy training on the week, and stuff like that. Like, it's just been an all around change. And, like when I look back 12 months ago, I see a completely different person. I'm really blown away that what started off as let's give this a go has transformed into something that it's just so easy now because it's just part of what I do every day.
Absolutely, man. I think you've absolutely nailed everything you've just said then, where it literally, if I told you 12 months ago, hey, CJ, you're going to be 20 kilos lighter, and all the things that you're doing with, being more active, being more involved, activity-wise with your kids and being able to run around with them so much easier. And now we're going to start doing a half marathon, block of training, and we're going to do this in October. Like, if I told you that 12 months ago, you would have gone, get fucked. Like, it's just...
Yeah, there would have been a few choice words in there. Especially even a month or two ago, if you said half marathon training, I'd have been like, nah,
no chance.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm really keen to get it going. And it's probably been a good 20 years since I've done regular running.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see how it goes and stuff like that.
I'm bloody excited. So how many kilos did you start at, and how many kilos are you at right now?
So I started at 131 or 130 and a half, something like that, just over 130.
Yep.
I'm at 109 now.
Oh my God.
So kind of stayed at 109 the last few months. And before this running challenge came up, I was talking to some of the guys on the Saturday morning, and I said, look, I don't care what the next challenge coming out is. I've got to do it.
Yep.
Because when I was thinking about it, like having that accountability with the group with FatChat was really helpful for me.
Definitely.
So I need to get a challenge going, get that accountability coming back, to really set me off again and do a bit of a reset and stuff like that. So then when you came up and said, hey, we're going to run a half marathon, do you want to do it? I was like, oh, I'm already committed to doing whatever the next one is. I was thinking, it'll be another FatChat thing, but no, we're running.
Yes. So how long has it, what's the furthest run that you've ever done in your life, do you reckon? So like 20 years ago, you reckon you were, maybe doing some regular runs. What was the furthest you ever ran?
Oh, it still would probably only be 2 or 3 Ks back then.
Wow, so good. Holy shit.
But it was when I was playing like junior footy and I was playing in the forward pocket off the bench. So
nice.
Running was not a huge portion of what I was doing when I was playing footy.
You're locked down in the cage. Just send it up, guys. Send a long one.
Yeah, pretty much. I might lead 20 meters out, but that was about it. So yeah, not a whole heap of running with that. And even when I started, I played gridiron for a few years. I signed up to be on the offensive line, so very little running to do with that. You just got to be big and push people. So
yeah, nice.
I've done a couple of park runs this year with one of my sons. So that's the longest I've ever run. And yeah, so that's 5K. But even then, it's probably run a bit, walk a bit, run a bit, walk a bit.
Yep.
So yeah, nothing much more than that ever.
So we've got some work to do on that front, which is great. But the best thing about this program is that it's all structured out for you. We're going to be with you the whole time. The Saturday mornings are actually going to be one of the run sessions that we do as well. So we'll get to do it as a group all together, be supportive, have other people doing it with you as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. And it's just like a bit of a new challenge and a new something, to work on, because like you said, even with making that unbelievable change that you've made over the 12 months and losing all that weight, there gets to a point where the stuff that you're doing, sometimes you just need another little catalyst to keep the result going and keep you fresh, keep the mind fresh, and keep those results coming as well. So, but I cannot wait to do this, and we're going to keep you, really updated with everybody in terms of, keeping up with all of your training and making sure that everybody's following along the journey. So, if anybody is keen to be part of the program, pretty much what it is, 16-week program, you get all the nutrition help. We'll check in each week. You're going to have a weekly coach check-in. We've got the running clubs that we're going to be doing twice a week as well for that one, and it just takes away all the thinking that you have to do, and all of those. The thing that I found when I first started, doing all my running stuff, CJ, about 12 months ago, was as a beginner, you just don't know what you don't know. And working with someone like Matt, and now I think, myself as well, with having a little bit more experience with it, oh my God, all those little things to start on off with that you just get wrong, whether it's your shoes, whether it's you running too fast, whether it's the injuries that you get to start on off with, all this sort of stuff, it can be, just overcome so much easier with a bit more help. So I'm really looking forward to it. And the other thing as well, tell us about the injury that you got not a few months ago, sort of start of the year. Tell us about that, because this adds to the degree of difficulty and how impressive that this feat is going to be.
So it was my last gridiron game ever. I was blocking and had my knee taken out, and I tore my ACL.
No.
That put me on ice for a good 8 weeks before I could even start doing simple kind of training stuff again. So been given the all clear from my physios and stuff like that to start doing like low impact running, and I've been swimming and stuff as well. So
fantastic. So pretty much to sum it up, he started at 130 kilos 12 months ago. He's completely changed all of his habits in that time. He's done his ACL. He's going to be running with one ACL. We don't need to change direction, so it doesn't matter. We don't even need it. We just need to be running in a straight line. And we're going to be keeping up to date and checking in with CJ the whole program. But mate, I'm so excited to get started in a couple of weeks. If anybody wants to sign on up, the spots they are limited. They're filling up quick though. But make sure you head on over to www.bodymagic.fit. If CJ can do it, if he can do all these changes that he's done in the last 12 months, you can. Is there anything like along that sort of front that you want to preach to everyone, CJ?
Just get in and give it a go. Like I said, when I started last year, I rocked up to that first Saturday morning session not knowing what to expect, and really kind of nervous but there was a bunch of people there who were really encouraging. There were people like me who were starting from scratch, and it was little steps along the way. And there was just this awesome community of encouragement through the Body Majic site. If you had a bad day, if you needed some advice or something, you'd stick it in the chat and there'd be 4 or 5 replies come through real quick. And for me, that's what really helped me get through, especially those early weeks where I was like, oh man, this is so tough. That's absolutely massive. And if I could have done it, anyone can do it. And we don't try and do it all overnight.
Exactly.
We do it a little bit more each day.
Exactly, mate. I absolutely love it. Well, everyone, get used to hearing more from CJ because we're going to be checking in with him. I'm bloody excited, mate. You go and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to see you tomorrow for training and can't wait to get started on this half marathon journey. Let's go.
Yeah.
Love it, mate. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Gerard. See you tomorrow.
So, Maddie, we've been getting messages, comments. We're reading them all on YouTube. This is actually a YouTube comment, this one here. It was, I'd love to say his name, but it was like one of those, just like a number. One of those ones, yeah. Lads, can you explain heart rate training zone? Would love for you to deep dive into this one. And this is a question for you, my friend. So, it just like generally would love to know for someone like really entry level, there's 5 zones for your heart rate. I'd love to know the breakdown of maybe the percent of your maximum and what energy source that they use as well.
Yeah, so we briefly discussed this and there's a lot of different scientific approaches, a lot of different scientists within exercise physiology who have gone and divulged in 7 zones, 5 zones, 9 zones. We could really deep dive. Using the word deep dive is dangerous. And guess what?
There's probably going to be more. The more they do science stuff, there's going to be plenty zones.
It's probably something you don't want to Google.
Yep.
Because there's always a different answer. But if you go and really simplify it, everybody has a max heart rate, right? To find it hurts. But if you really, the old school method is 220. The number 220. Take your age.
Yep.
It's obsolete, but. It actually is quite accurate for some people. I guess you got to look at that and break it down into then 10% lots, right, from below that. So when you're at 50% of your max heart rate, you're pretty much resting.
Yep.
And then you jump to 60% is when you would actually start to be in a zone 1, right? So you literally would go from 50% zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5. Zone 5 is real interval-based sprinting, max effort.
And you can only do that for seconds.
Yeah, short periods of time.
Yep.
Like from a heart rate point of view, it's different because you can maintain, 90 to 100%
for a longer
period of time. 100% you can't for very long.
Yep.
But, if you're sick and stuff, sometimes you will be able to. For the majority of people, for everybody, our bodies are lazy. Okay, so naturally, when you start to do any form of cardio, your heart rate's going to try and jump to quite a high level, beyond 80%. That's where we burn glycogen most efficiently.
Yep.
Right, most effectively. So burning sugars, you've got free-floating glycogen in your blood. So when you start doing a bit of cardio, it'll naturally, your body will try and pick up, right? And then you start to feel good. Okay, because you're accessing energy that's really easy for the body to break down and use as energy, right? So you can get pumping. That's a limited surplus. Okay, so that might get you anywhere from 3 minutes to 10 minutes of effort. And then you got to start to use other options, with oxygen, trying to burn fat. The problem is becoming efficient with burning fat is really under that 80, even under 75% for most people.
Yep.
But if you're not fit, going for a run and holding under 75%, you'd be walking a fair bit of it.
Yep.
But you need to be disciplined in that approach.
Yep.
So
that's purely more so for burning fat is what you're talking about when you're first starting. If you're going for a run for fitness and you want to target burning fat and use fat as a source, you want to keep it at 75% or below, or even
let's call it 80. Let's say
80.
Let's say under 80%.
Under 80, and that will be in the zone.
Max heart rate.
Yep, that'll be in the zone for you to be using fat.
Both.
and glycogen.
Yeah.
And
So you'll
free
naturally use glycogen regardless. The body's lazy,
Yep.
right? So it'll access any sugar. It's very easy to break that down if it's free floating. When you've used all that free floating, you don't hold much. So you still have some in your tissues, right? So you can still go and break all that down, right? But there's also obviously fat that can be broken down. And then when you start to produce waste and lactic acid, that can then be reused as energy, right? It's just a longer process. When you go for a long period of time, you can then burn muscle, which is when you go
have
catabolic,
to be going for
4 hours plus.
Yeah.
But in terms of training zones, it's definitely not a myth, right? If you look at it from a heart rate point of view, if you go and do a hard interval session, whether it be in the gym, I get it, CrossFit style, or
circuit thing,
interval based,
training,
you'll tend to go home quite hungry, or you'll feel it instantly where you need to replenish. Anytime you spike like that, you burn. It's like sugar. It's like on that heartbeat, on that rhythm. Right. So you're going over that in little bursts. If you go real fast for a short period of time, you're anaerobic. Right. So that's not using oxygen. You're just burning the glycogen that's in your system. That's what you don't need to do all the time, because you also increase the risk of injury. Right. So let's call, for the purpose of this chat, you running, right? That's what we're trending towards now. Running's very difficult for most people to run easy, but if you take the time and do that, running under 80% of your max heart rate also reduces your risk of injury. You can think about what you're doing when you're running, right? So in terms of how you're breathing, where you're actually stepping and striding so you don't fall over. And then you're going to get home and not be so smashed from burning all these different energy systems. When you go and do sprinting, you will. You go and use all your glycogen. But you won't essentially become any more efficient or really not fitter.
I've got a question for you. So say if you're doing like a little bit of a mixed bag session, or say you're doing some different paces or intensities, whatever, with your run. So you're saying when it goes over the 80%, you're starting to use the glycogen and use sugar. What if it's like, say if you go up the peak and it goes really high for a bit, but then you do that for a little bit and then you drop it right back down, does that then change the energy systems?
Absolutely.
Or does it, because you've gone up that high, you're gonna keep burning all the sugar because you've peaked up there?
It's often hard to come down from there until
That's
you've gone.
That's my question. Is it hard to come down? Like if you've got it up?
You need to walk or go and stop doing what you're doing. Like say, AFL football, for instance, right? It's on. And then when you go to the bench and your heart rate comes down to steady, it won't go back to a resting heart rate, but it will maintain at a point where you're still your body's burning low levels of, not of fat as such, but of energy, where then you can, as soon as you step back into it, it can spike again. But you can, it's why I guess when you encourage people when they're going on a bit of a cardio, aerobic fitness journey, using the bike, using swimming, lower impact exercise, you'll be able to maintain a steady heart rate for longer.
For sure. Really interesting. So I hope that answered the question from the FatChat listener. If you've got any other ones, send them on in. But we're going to be deep diving even more into this when we have Chris on, because I think that would be a great one for him to chat about next week for like a sports scientist side of things. But if you've got any more questions, make sure you hit us up at FatChat.
Quick little break here, guys. It's Matt and Gerard here from FatChat.
Hey guys, if you haven't already, it would mean the world to us if you could follow, like, or subscribe to any of our channels on any of the platforms that you're listening to, because it just goes a long way into growing the pod, getting more people on, coming back and doing this every week. And we obviously love to hear from everybody too. So if you haven't already, make sure you follow, like, subscribe. It'll take you 15 seconds. We'll owe you a favor. You can let us know what that favor is at some point. When Matt's walking around, you can ask him for whatever favor that you like, and he'll definitely do it.
No, ask Maj.
If you come up and say, look, we've subscribed and we followed, we'll owe you a favor.
I'll do it.
Thanks, legends. Back to the pod.
Hey guys, Dan from BackChat here. While Gerard's mum is a real doctor, this segment is for entertainment purposes only. For specific medical conditions, make sure you seek the advice of your own doctor.
If you've snapped your banjo string or wonder why your nipples are so hairy, you need to book an appointment with Dr. Majic. Dr. Majic, here we go. New intro, everybody. How good was that?
Oh, I just woke up from it.
How good was that? So good. Dr. Majic, welcome back. Welcome back.
Can you imagine your son sitting in his bedroom recording that? Yes.
It's the Grey's Anatomy theme song, if you didn't put that together. But that's
it really?
Yeah, it is. That's like the little
okay.
tune at the start. Dr. Majic, welcome back. This is everybody's favourite segment. Everybody's just pounding out and going, more Dr. Majic, please, more.
Can I just add, when I'm listening to the podcast to get the views up,
Yep.
When Dan comes across and says, it's just, for entertainment
advice,
purposes, it angers me a bit on your behalf. Years of study.
And I'm on the entertainment.
Years of dealing with people.
It should be said that it's for general information. not
General info.
specific.
We'll change that.
You know,
We'll change it.
you know how people like religiously watched Dr. Phil because it was true, right? People just it was like a.
It's all true.
It was like biblical.
Yeah, it's true. Yep,
Yeah.
it's true.
This is real
Dr. Phil's
information.
pretty cool, though.
true.
Hey.
But see, doctor.
See you,
All right,
doctor.
we've got some questions. We've had plenty sent in. So, Mum, number one, what causes stitches? I recently ran the Busselton 100 and a stitch absolutely crippled me.
And that's when you're running, though. Yeah. So
Common.
It's common, isn't it? They think the theory is that it's to do with your diaphragm, probably. Yeah. And your diaphragm is the muscle that separates your chest cavity from your abdomen, and it has to expand when you're breathing. So if you start suddenly running, sprinting, it's not going to get a chance to get a rhythm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So if you kind of take a bit of a walk for a little bit and then start to jog, and then before you start running full on, you should get a better rhythm. But yeah, it can be really painful. Yeah. So that you've experienced that, Matt, with your running.
I have. It's very broad, like broadly spoken of topic.
Yeah.
Because the jury's still out on.
Yeah, absolutely, that's true.
On exactly. A lot of
Exactly.
people say I'm low on salt. Mm-hmm. No, they don't think that is the case at all. The science side of it doesn't. Or I've had too much glucose or carbohydrates, or you could have stomach stress, but the diaphragm side of it is like there's a technique where you actually push up under the diaphragm and breathe into it. So it's like the diaphragm becomes sticky and then it'll cause that discomfort. So you need to try and relieve that. You can't really do that running, so you need to walk it out for a minute.
Great.
But you can definitely run them out.
You can run them out,
Yeah,
really.
breathe
It doesn't
through
seem to happen when people cycle, does it? It's more when they're actually
Dr.
running.
Majic, have you ever had a
Because it's
stitch
the
before?
upright.
You ever ran far enough to get a stitch?
I got that look too, didn't you?
I've not always been this age, you know. Yeah, I have run before. I was a netball champion. I did netball.
Netball champion.
Well,
So
not quite a
good.
champion,
But if you get-
but I did play C grade netball.
I listen to my wife's what do you call them? A hobbyist runner,
Yep, every day.
everyday runner.
Yep.
She would often say, I got a really bad stitch.
Yeah.
Change the time of day you're running and see how it goes. That would be my first
Oh, really?
bit of
Change the time
information.
of day, you
if you
think?
typically go on the arvo, means you've had like a day of food, maybe dehydrated. Go first thing in the
Yeah.
morning and see how you go.
Yeah, right.
You
Interesting.
might need to stop
you
at the
go.
toilet, but it's just line it up with the toilet.
Sick.
Yeah.
Love it. Great question.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve-O.
Thanks, Steve-O. Hope you look after that, mate. Question 2. I suffer from anxiety, and the worst part for me is my heart rate rapidly increases. I've got a few things I do to try and calm myself down, but do you have any suggestions to decreasing my heart rate?
Yeah. Well, your heart rate is controlled by a number of factors. One is adrenaline, and then the nerves that control your heart as well, and your breathing, I guess. So, one of the techniques perhaps that they're already doing is just to sigh out slowly, just to breathe very gently, exhale very slowly and try to control the out breath, and that can actually help control your heart rate. If your heart's going, there is a technique that you can actually use where you touch the carotid sinus, which is at the angle of your jaw here. Don't do both at the same time. You'll pass out because this artery supplies your brain. Oh, yeah.
Right.
And, you only do it with 2 fingers at the angle of your jaw.
Up on your neck, yeah?
Yep.
Under
But
here,
just for
where your
about
pulse is.
5 seconds. Yeah, where your pulse
And what,
is.
you massage
Just
around?
You massage it like this for about 5 seconds and no more. And that may help reduce your heart rate.
Everybody do that that's listening right now. See if that works. Wow.
So you just, that's
Yeah.
right.
That's
Don't do
done
too
both
much.
sides.
We don't
Real
want to
good.
pass it out. We don't
Real
want
fatigues at the moment.
that's right. Yeah, that can help because the carotid sinus is where the bifurcation of the two arteries occur going into your brain, and in there's a lot of nerve endings that go all the way to your vagus nerve, and your vagus nerve reduces your heart rate.
Wow. That's crazy.
impressive.
That is impressive. Wow. Next question. I'm experiencing erectile dysfunction. What can I do about it? I've tried a few medications, but only works sometimes.
Okay. And we're assuming this is a young person and they're medically well.
Yep.
And they're not got a hangover.
Yep.
And
True.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's right. That's right. And they're not on medication. So some antidepressant medication can contribute, and there's other medications that contribute to at times to erectile dysfunction, or not being a problem some of the time. If it's not a problem all of the time, then there's not an ongoing physical problem is less likely. But of course, you've got to, if you have diabetes or other conditions, that could contribute as well. But assuming that you're completely healthy young man, then it can happen occasionally if if you're not in the right sort of position to have, not position, I shouldn't say position.
Jeez.
Whoa, Mum.
This couch just got close. All
right. Hang on a minute.
You invited her.
If you're not nice and relaxed and having a lovely time and all the factors are going your way, then it's very easy to
The mood's got to be right.
the mood's
Position's
got
gotta
to
be correct.
No distractions.
Yeah,
Good
okay.
positions. All
You've
of
got to
that.
be attracted
Exactly
to them.
right. However, if you're using medication, sometimes it's a matter of increasing the dose, and once you get your confidence back again and things are good, you can always reduce the dose.
Yeah,
and stop it.
psychological half the time.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's a lot of confidence, I think. If it happens to you
Performance
once,
anxiety.
right, if it happens to you once, exactly right, you can get performance anxiety the next time. Absolutely. Ever happened to you, Matt?
No.
Just before big races. Just
Yeah,
before
when
big
you're
races.
fatigued, 100%. It's great.
Fatigue.
Just go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, heavy training. This is when your testosterone's low, that's all. When
Yeah.
you're depleted
Yeah,
on all
sure.
mineral level, but I've not taken medication for it. And I have a son, so we're away. Okay, what? This is actually from me, this question. Last week I woke up with a bloodshot eye. It's
Just the
healed.
one?
Yeah, just the one side. It was just my 2.5-year-old come downstairs when
Yeah.
he woke up and he was like, "Oh, Dada, okay?"
Oh, so was it one that was really bright
It was just
red?
like I had a big red dot in my eye.
And did it take
Is
some
it
days
dispersed
to
a
go?
bit? Yeah, it's
it
only
took some
just-
days to go away.
Yeah, this is like a week and a half now.
Oh, right. So if it's just one eye and it's acute like that, and your vision wasn't affected, there was no pain, there was nothing else, then you can just get a little capillary in the white part of your eye, your
Yep.
conjunctiva, that just pops.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, and that it looks intense, like Dracula.
Initially it does, and then it disperses a bit. But
yeah, that's right. So subconjunctival hemorrhage, that's called. So,
Right.
but it
I call
certainly
it hard
dry
work.
eye.
Hard
Yeah.
work.
hard, yeah.
Well,
Did you get
it
wind burn on your eyes from the bike and stuff?
Can be precipitated
sunglasses.
by dry eyes,
Oh.
yeah, which and coughing or
Man,
sneezing or
Do
vomiting.
remember? I text you when I was doing all my stuff, and my eyes would wake up from the Saturday so bad. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah,
I got a few of them.
Yeah, so a lot of texts. Yeah.
Both of them.
No, it was usually just one. Maybe it would go really, really red, but like
Yeah.
I just assumed it was probably just from the wind or whatever.
Well, you can get it
from
with dry
hard
eyes.
work.
But,
Yeah.
But what Matt's talking about is a real pop.
a pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Never happened before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow, it's gone.
It's gone.
Because that's a personal question, you will need to swipe your Medicare card for that one. All right? So just make sure we do that on the way out. Yep.
Expired after Hollywood trained me. They're still coming for me.
I need help to stop vaping. I used to just have a few puffs when I was out, but now it's an everyday habit I'm doing. What's the best way to quit? Great question.
It is a good question because so many young people
Because
are
it's
taking up-
gross.
Yeah.
I can't stand it, eh?
Vapes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw. Sorry, I drove past someone standing out the front of a hair salon, creating their cloud of smoke, and I don't see the attraction. But
Yeah, well, the problem is it's got nicotine in it, so it's
Yeah,
addictive.
it's addictive.
And that's the problem. And it's also, it's actually dissolved in a lot of other chemicals,
Yeah.
hundreds of chemicals. that are
tastes
really,
nicer, doesn't it?
Well, some of them
Supposedly.
they put flavours in, but
Yeah.
there's also some chemicals in there that are quite dangerous as well, and that produces the vape. And the side effects of that, long term, are probably going to be not good for your lungs.
Is it?
And
Do you
other-
know if it's any worse than smoking a cigarette, or same, or?
in terms of your health? If
Yeah.
you're a smoker and you switch to vaping, that's probably better for you. But if you're a non-smoker and you start vaping, of course that's going to be
But
worse
then,
for
do you reckon
Less
also that?
additives.
But then, do you reckon also because that, like, people will vape inside versus you won't smoke inside,
Well,
that you're
that's-
actually having more vape, so maybe you're actually having more than what you would if you were just
and in
smoking a
fact,
ciggy.
That's absolutely right. And the other problem is that a lot of vapes have a lot more nicotine in them than in some of them, even up to a whole pack of cigarettes worth of nicotine in one vape.
Really? Shit.
So it's really
I can't smoke. My lungs don't do it.
yeah. Well, that's a good thing.
Never have
Yeah.
before,
So how you would give up would be similar to giving up cigarettes. In fact, if you look on, the government has a great website, sort of a quit line, and getting ready to quit, and they've got great resources there. So certainly things like looking at your habits when you do vape and trying to modify those. You're right. When you with cigarettes, people tend to go outside and you sort of say, well, don't go to that spot. Go somewhere else or stay inside for your morning break.
Yeah, right.
You've got to change the habit. And there's certainly lots of other tips on that line as well. But there's also medication and patches, nicotine patches, and other medications that you can be prescribed if you go and see your GP.
Love it.
Full circle in it. Yeah? We sort of they kind of got rid of cigarettes.
Yeah, but now it's
Something's always coming around.
Well,
Yeah.
absolutely, and cigarette companies unfortunately have got a lot to answer for, in my view. Because they see that market shrinking with cigarette smoking, so they're very clever, and they've made this vaping a very trendy thing by adding lots of great flavours that are very attractive to young people in particular. So and it makes it look attractive. So but all they're doing is hooking you on their product. Yep.
nasty stuff.
It is.
Last question. What do we
Last
got, Maddie?
Is it possible to have more fat on one side of your body? I've noticed my legs; they are definitely different.
Yeah, absolutely.
is
You
this
can
true?
have asymmetry with every part of your body. You sometimes you find one foot's a little bit bigger than the other, or one ear's slightly bigger than the other. But with the fat deposition, often it's on thighs that you can see that there's a difference. And I guess the important thing is to make sure it's not something that's actually growing more, so that it's not an abnormal soft tissue mass. But if it's just a little bit more and it's always been there, well, then I'm sure that it's just normal.
Unreal.
You've had DEXA scans before?
I actually have never had it. No, I actually would like to go do one.
Yeah, that's always the case.
Yep.
Whatever side you're dominant on tends to be leaner.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So if you're left-footed or, you just
I need to
more
go do
active
one.
through
That'd be
that
interesting.
side. Yeah.
I should go do that. Well, Dr. Majic, this is why we have you in, because you answer all the questions that everybody wants to know. If anybody has got any more Dr. Majic questions, make sure to send them on in to FatChat at backchatstudios.com.au or any of the social channels as well. Dr. Majic, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Gerard. Thank you.
No worries.
Now, Maddie, I put this out on the FatChat socials and my socials too, because I was at the gym the other day and I walked in. Let me set you the scene. I walked in.
Your 1 a week session.
My 1 a week, mate. 2 a day at the moment. Leading up to Europe. The 2 a
Europe isn't getting
days.
any further
Mate,
away,
hang on,
is
I just
it?
need to have a quick mark. I can feel my muscles
Big thanks
depleting.
to Oak. Aren't you a Masters ambassador?
Man, bro, I'll tell you.
I saw it.
Bro, we can have a whole podcast episode about the toxic relationship that is me and Masters. But anyway, we'll get back to that. So I was in the gym. I walked in. And the gym that I train at, it's got a stretching area and it's got this big circle mirror, right, massive one that everybody stretches in front of. And I went on in, and there's this girl, and she's got her headphones on, white over the top headphones.
Right. Yep. I can see it.
And she's in the front and center of the stretching bit. And she's got headphones on. She's fucking popping, locking, doing all these dance moves, it's dance moves.
I know better than that.
I don't even know what they're called. That's how much I dance, pop and lock. I don't even know if it's a fucking
That's
thing.
the right word,
right?
though, yeah.
She's going for it, like doing this routine, like arms out like this, so dramatic.
Is she quite good?
It was good, but I was it was weird as it's the middle of the gym, and I was like, what the hell? She's smashing this out, going absolutely nuts. And she's got the the dancer face on, where it's
Bit of
nothing. It's just nothing. It's just looking into the distance, giving another, and she's
like me
smashing.
racing the other day when I ran past you.
Yeah, and giving me nothing. And she's smashing this dance, and then she'd be like, I could see she stopped. She'd have a couple of breaths and go down, have a quick sip of water, look at the watch, and then bang, start again. She was doing interval dancing. I was like, what the fuck? She's doing a hit session. We're doing this cheerleading routine.
Zumba-like.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't. It was like cheerleading. It was bizarre. She was going off, and I just went, that in my head, that is the biggest ick I've ever seen in the gym ever.
Yeah. Go home.
What the, I'm all for whatever, but what the hell? In the middle, it was bizarre. And that just gave me,
place, and it's not at the gym.
it's not in the middle, I don't know, it just gave me the biggest ick. And then that got me thinking about what my biggest gym icks are, because there is a lot of them, right? And I put this out on the FatChat socials, and I couldn't believe the response I got. There was 50, 60 different entries to this one. Have you got any gym icks? Anything you've seen?
Firstly, I had to Google what the word ick.
Oh, yeah, you would, eh?
Yeah, my
So
demographic.
anybody, all right, just quickly, if there's any other Matts listening, right, or anyone over 30 or I don't know, how old are you?
32,
30, yeah.
Over 32.
So if you don't know what an ick is like something that usually talk about it in like a relationship. It's like if you're seeing someone or see like someone that you fancy and then they do something, it can be anything like...
Us mature people call them idiosyncrasies.
Yes, like an idiosyncrasy. Exactly. Like anything that you just go, oh, that person went from 10 to 0 in my books, right? That's what we're talking about, right? And it can be random as things. What are your biggest, what's your gym icks? Go. What's yours personal?
Yeah. This is an agreement between my wife and I, but people that don't wipe down after they've used a bench or a mat.
That was a quite common one that was sent in.
That's disgusting. Get out.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped going to gyms.
Yeah.
Just build my own.
Build your own.
Just travel around with one.
Man, there's one person that sweats a lot is you. Your bloody clothes for your triathlon on the weekend see-through. Like,
fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm swimming in the water too.
There's another guy at the gym. It's funny because it's actually a dance one too.
Jeez, are you sure you go to a gym or?
Revo Fitness. I don't know if you can call that a gym. It's a bit of a zoo sometimes, to be honest. But another dancing one. He's there all the time when I'm there, and he's got the overhead headphones on too. It's a trend.
It's cool. But go to Revo.
And he's there, and he's doing muzzing. Do you know what muzzing is? What all the big bodybuilder like festival like stringlet guys do,
Right.
and it's like this like dance stuff. I can't even do it, but it's like you do these ones and you like wrap around your head a little bit and you're like doing these ones, these moves.
Warm up or
no, as in he's got headphones on, he's listening to a banger obviously, and he's like,
Right.
oh yeah, like feeling it,
pumping
but
up.
he's not like the girl that's doing it with confidence in the middle of the gym, giving us an absolute show.
he's in the
He's
corner.
like just a little bit, like doing the small
like
little
Jay-Z
muzzes.
or-
He's like just doing the wrist muzzes like this, and I'm like, man, everyone can still see that. So that's a big ick for me. Another one for me.
should sneak a record on these.
Yeah, another
Send
one
it
for
viral.
me is people who wear weightlifting gloves. That's an ick. That's an ick if I've ever... You see
Why?
someone... I don't know. It just is. It just is.
I know,
And
but if
icks don't
someone-
have to make sense. It just like... You just look at them and just go, oh, like...
Maybe what about for what do they call them?
No, wrist straps are different.
No, not wrist straps. Like if you're doing chin-ups.
Nah, that's ick, bro. Get some callus on your hands, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, each to their own, but
you wear gym gloves, don't you? Oh, he
No,
wears
no,
gym
no,
gloves.
no.
That's the biggest ick
no
I've ever
way,
heard.
never. No, you got to harden
Oh.
your hands up. But
Yeah, you do.
they get sweaty though. Just make sure you put them in your bag. Don't
Yep.
put them on the bench.
Another one for me was guys that wear tracksuit pants for their whole workout. That's ick.
Really?
That's ick,
Oh man,
man.
I'm a big tracksuit.
For the whole workout.
I'd wear top too. Yeah, heated
What?
options. Yeah, tracksuit top, tracksuit pants. I used
One
to
big
live in
walking ick you are. Wow.
No gloves though.
No, but my theory for it is like the only reason why the guys wear like stringlet and tracksuits.
Oh, no,
you
not
ain't training legs. That's why. That's the only reason. Like, and if you do have like skinny legs, fucking
Is this
own that
summer
shit.
or winter though? Winter's all right.
All year round. Like I'm talking, there's guys at the gym that are just in full trackies and they got a stringlet
Oh
on.
no.
Yeah,
if
that's
you're wearing
ick, man.
tracky pants. You need like a long sleeve shirt or something.
Yeah, that's an ick. Another one I got. People who are carrying around those little cooler bags. Have you seen those?
Really? No, I don't. Like literally, I go to a private gym.
Yep.
So
Must be nice. Yeah.
just for that reason. So I don't no cooler bags allowed.
So there's people like this is not just one or two I've encountered. This is a lot of people. They carry like those Coolridge like over the head like a little esky, and they carry this esky with them. And I'm like,
to shoot up during the gym.
I don't fucking know. I'm like,
Testosterone in it,
what's
though.
in there? I'm like, what do you have to keep cool for your gym session? What are you eating out of there? Like what?
Do you see him go into this thing?
They just carry it around. Yeah, they're sort of rummaging through it. I don't know what they do with these bags, but it's like and someone sent that in too. Another person said, so it's a thing. Yeah. And just gym bags in general. Why are you carrying around your gym bag? Put it in the locker.
Like this is a big bag.
Yeah. It's like a esky bag.
It just makes me not want to go to Revo.
Yeah, big
Sorry,
time.
Revo.
Big time. No, it's all right. We don't like them either. The next one for me, posing practice in the middle of the gym. This happened this morning.
Right.
Bro. Like, okay.
Let's remember. We respect people who go into lifting competitions.
100%.
But I know where you're going with this.
Yep, 100%. I've got friends that have done bodybuilding, and I've got friends that are currently
It's an art. It's
doing
it's a
bodybuilding.
sport, right?
100%.
Yep.
But what I don't like, just an ick of mine at the gym, is that if you go past the mirror and you give a little tricep pop or a little, no problem. Right?
Yeah, that's just.
All right, that's why the mirrors are there for, right? But when you're doing
They're actually there for form.
yeah, well, when you're there in the middle of the gym doing your full IFBB posing routine, and you're like this bloke was like 2 meters from me today. He was doing his whole.
What were you doing?
I was laughing. I was actually laughing. I was
Were you
like,
doing
oh my
a
god.
weight, though?
Yeah, I was lifting weights.
And he's posing next to you.
Yeah, like as in like this close where you are.
He wanted to get on the pod. 100%.
I was like, oh my god, like put it up, man, like anywhere but here.
Shirt off?
It's stringlet, like you can see like full stringlet all the way
Was
down.
he like,
He wasn't a big guy.
in
He's
a
a hell ripped guy.
Okay.
But this happened many times. And then there's another chick that's doing it. Was happening everywhere. I was like, oh my god, there's just
I know
posing.
it's the thing, like, people would laugh at it, but the posing side of it's a big aspect of the sport, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure if your community gym's the place for it.
But also, I have been at a gym where I have been sitting there doing a weight, doing some weights, doing some chest press, and I looked over, this massive bodybuilder dude with his coach in the middle of the gym, down to Speedos.
Really?
Pink Speedos, this guy was like, this was years ago, but yeah, and I was like, that is the biggest ick ever. Like, ugh, can't do that. So turn that up.
We go to different gyms.
Next one. I've got so many.
This
next
is still
one.
you personally.
This is just me. This is just me when I was thinking about it. Tripods at the gym. That's an ick.
What gyms? Are you going to a gym or a filming club?
Yeah, every gym is a bit of both, to be honest.
This is a camera tripod.
Camera tripod. Now look,
Stability is everything.
Yep. Have I ever done this? Yes. Is it an ick when I do it? Yes. Like that's just plain and simple. You can do it. That's no problem. But it's an ick.
It's common.
It's very common.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very common. So that's an ick. I do that one for
videos.
content or whatever. I don't know what they're doing with them. Like, I don't know.
And we don't see them.
We don't see whatever. Yeah, exactly. No,
I hope they're getting some views.
And the last one for me, people who wear the shoes with those little toe cutouts.
Cutouts?
Have you seen that?
Do you mean toe shoes?
Yeah, the toe shoes.
Vibrams.
Yep.
Because they've got it's all about feeling the ground.
I don't care what it's about.
I say
Ick.
bullshit.
That is the biggest ick I have
some shoes
ever
on.
seen, man.
Buy some Asics.
Yeah, exactly. We've got some stuff that people have sent on in. That's enough of me carrying on about my
That's
icks.
a lot of body magic.
What have you got? What have you got from some of the listeners, Matty?
From Kaylee. Grunting excessively during every single rep. Hold on. She's specified one guy at Revo Canning Vale. Now, which Revo do you
I go to the Revo and Canning Vale. Yeah, I go to Revo and Canning Vale.
So
But
grunting excessively during
am I a
every single
grunter?
rep.
No, I don't grunt. I'm not a grunter. But that is ick.
Kaylee, if you get this guy's name, we will throw him out there. Throw him under the bus.
The gym.
Just ask him for his name.
That is a big ick.
Yeah,
I've got another one sent in here. It's actually a voicemail by C. Barts on Instagram. Ready?
Biggest gym ick. I despise stringlets. Like, put it away. I don't
give
want to
us a
see your hairy
vomit.
nipples.
So yeah, and the hairy nipples to go with it. That is stringlets. Yeah, stringlets. That is ick. That is ick. Fair enough. Yep. What else you got?
From Kyle. When people film... Oh, he's just coming at you here. When people film themselves and then get angry when you're in their way.
Oh, get that out the way. No, I'm joking. I would never go and get angry with someone in the back of it. That is bizarre. That's just a rude person.
Yeah, Kyle, put in a complaint about them.
Yeah.
Get them kicked out of the gym, mate.
Yeah, that's ick. That's an ick. That
Yeah.
would give anybody the ick, that. Next one I've got is Jane. The 17-year-old boys that all train on the same machine at once and spend about 3 hours doing 3 sets. That is definitely...
Still a thing, hey?
Bro, I was literally at the gym yesterday and like peak time yesterday, second session. And man,
flex.
it was like, there was like good on them. Like, you know, get in there and do your exercise. But it was like, there's 5 of them around one leg extension. And it's like, man, you get through 3 sets of that, you're going to be there for
least they're not
15
skipping
minutes.
leg day.
No, I love it. But yeah,
up
it's
the
going
good
to take
work,
them.
boys.
It's going to take them a bit. Yep. Split up, boys. Pairs, eh? Go in
Yeah,
pairs.
work the gym.
Work in pairs.
Yeah. One in from Jack. People who say, I've got 1 set left, and then sit there and scroll for 5 minutes. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Get
that's
out of
annoying.
the gym.
That's annoying.
Go home.
That's annoying. But to be fair, what is like, trying to think from the opposite. If I'm sitting there and someone comes, oh, how many sets you got? I'm like, oh yeah, I got 1 more. It depends on how it's asked. If it's pushy, I'm like, Oh, yeah. I might take my time.
I got 7 there. I'm doing more sets than
Fair
you
enough.
should.
That's a great ick. This one's from Mitchell Woodcock. Mitchell actually gave me a really nice back page spread in the West Australian one day, actually. We love Mitch. Yeah, hang on. We'll get this one. This is specifically about a group fitness related problem.
Right.
When you're doing a circuit workout and the person on the next station is literally just resting during that time for you to get to the next station.
Not working.
And just sweating all over it and making sure that you can't set up so that when you eventually do get there, you've only got like 10 seconds to set up before your actual time starts. And then you've got to wipe their sweat off and it's just disgusting. Hurry the hell up.
Yeah.
Get off the bloody thing.
Get off the
Move to your
bloody
next
thing.
station and rest there and let me get on with my workout.
Absolutely.
You know what I reckon Jim should do?
What's that?
Have a big red sticker, big roll of them at the front.
Yeah.
And if someone's annoying you, you can go and grab a sticker and slap it on. Everyone looks at them like,
as
"Get
it's
out."
like a sticker of shame, you
Yeah.
mean?
Grub.
Ick.
Yeah,
Just says
the
big
ick
ick.
sticker.
That's definitely an ick. We love that from Mitch. Matt, what do you got?
James, taking I'm guessing this is taking their gym bag to every station.
Yep.
Have we spoken of this?
Yep,
In
yep.
a roundabout way.
Yep, ick.
This is weird. Like,
Put
I
it in
mean,
the locker,
unless
man.
they've got a heap of cash in there.
Yeah, why?
Or they're
Yeah.
worried about their iPhone that everyone else has got one of.
Yep.
I mean,
That's an ick. Fair
yeah,
enough.
just put it
Why?
in the way.
Yeah, like even if you've got your weightlifter belt, even if you've got your creatine in there, even if you've got your big tub of protein, you don't need that when you're on the
Go
the
and
cable
work
rope.
out
All right,
first.
you don't need it on the cable rope. Put it back. We'll get it after the session.
Yep.
That's an ick. That's a
Yep.
big ick.
Thanks, James.
What else you got?
I've got one from Sav. People who ask, "Are you using this?" when you are nowhere near what they need.
Sav, they're trying to hit on you. That's what's happening there.
You're hearing it from the man.
Sav is my housemate's girlfriend. So
Right,
yeah,
Sav.
who's doing the bodybuilding stuff, by the way.
Okay,
yeah, she's killing it. Well done, Sav.
She
killing
flexing
it.
in your gym as
I
well.
don't, you know what? I don't know. I have to ask. No, she flexes in the mirror at home sometimes.
At home.
No problem. It's at home.
Do you
Oh, yeah,
join
of
in?
course. That's why the mirror's there for everyone at home.
That's why you put them all over the house.
No, we love it, Sav. Keep up the good work. Next one I've got is from Charlize. So Charlize actually used to train with me. When someone puts a 20-kilo plate on one side and then puts two 10-kilo plates on the other side. What? That isn't it. I have seen this. Yeah. So it's like, they're like, oh, it's the same weight. It's 20 kilos. And they put a 120 and then two 10s to make it 20 each side. That is the biggest ick ever.
That just throws my OCD off.
Even for me in the gym is if they even just have, even if it's 20-kilo plates and they're different colors, or they're like, you know how the gyms have like the colored,
Yeah.
and then they have the black ones too, and they have a black one and a blue one. Nah, that's biggest ick for me, and probably just the OCD as well. It's like,
Yeah,
no, it's not
right.
the same. Like,
Is that just... I reckon it's because people pick up a 20-kilo plate and put it on and they're like, well, that was heavy. If I do it with two 10s, then it's not such a struggle.
maybe,
Just start with the two 10s.
I don't know, just whatever.
Bizarre.
Just put your ick. Yeah,
Wow.
ick.
Yeah, wow.
What else you got?
From Nay. When they leave their stuff on the equipment and go to a whole set somewhere else.
Yep. Yep. Setting up their own circuit. That's ick.
But what if it's two exercises, though?
Depends how
It's
close they
supersetting,
are.
right?
You can't
Yeah.
be walking from the
Oh,
other
no,
side of
true.
the gym and leave your phone on the seat and then walk all the way back down to the pec fly and you're over on the shoulder press.
Yeah,
Like,
if
you
you're-
can't do that.
If you're in a public gym and if you're supersetting or, you're using a few different machines or free weight areas, you can leave your setup there,
Yep.
be it the weights, but if someone wants to use it when you're not on it,
Go for it.
they're allowed to.
Yep.
And then you just wax in around them.
Yep. I agree.
It's called communication.
Yep. But still, you're giving me the ick when you do that. You're giving me the ick. You've actually just got one more on your list that I've been told that's been
Yes.
added to the list that without my knowledge. Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is from one of our probably our number one ticket holder, producer Jaden.
Jaden. What does
Welcome to
Jaden
the
want?
show. Welcome to
What
the
does
show, mate.
Jaden want?
Should hear he's when he leaves the room. Fantastic. In the room. Filming Body Magic's Valentine's Day videos in the middle of the gym when I was trying to do my workout.
Yes. Fair enough. Pretty
Ick.
big ick. Yeah.
Ick.
So anyone that hasn't seen that, man, that video went viral, by
How
the
did
way.
the second one go? Not as viral.
It still went well. The first one got almost 5 million views.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up got about 100,000 or something.
There is another guy out there who did something similar. Did you see him?
I ain't the first
right.
one to do Valentine's
Okay,
Day
okay.
workout where I'm fingering the cable machines
Nah,
and stuff.
true,
That
true.
ain't the first. But anyway, yes, Jaden, thank you very much for filming that. I was like, I think it was the day before Valentine's Day. I was like, shit, I need to do my annual Valentine's Day video. And I was like, I'll have to get Beck and bring her back later. And then I've looked around, and then who walks in? The gym gods. Send me Jaden. I went, beautiful. Yep, Jaden, sorry, 2 secs, mate. Can you film something for me? He's like, yeah, sure. I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Just take 2 secs. I start doing
he's left the gym. He's never gone back.
What the hell? So, Jaden, we love what you do for Body Magic and for FatChat. So
keep up the good work.
Keep up the good work. Hey, a lot of great icks there. I love it. A lot of icks. Thanks, everyone, for sending those in. If you want anything else, if you got any more icks, this could be a regular thing. Send them on in. We want to hear your icks.
Maybe we'll talk running icks next time.
Yes, we should do that. We 100%.
Running icks. What are people, first timers?
Yes.
Someone that's been running a long time. What do you dislike?
Next week, running icks. I love it. Hey legends, this little short here is an interview that I did with Essendon superstar Nic Martin. I have been lucky enough to work with Nick and be his PT for the last 3 years, and his story is one of the best going around in the AFL, from not getting drafted, getting told no by multiple clubs, finding his way onto Essendon's list, and then making the most of every opportunity from that. It's one of the best stories going around the AFL, and you're going to love this chat here. We talk about his training, his new role at Essendon, how he's been able to elevate his game, and I'm really looking forward to sharing the full episode on Friday. Enjoy the little short, and make sure you follow, like, and subscribe to FatChat on any of the streaming platforms that you're listening on. What's a game for you that you walk away and you're like, I fucking nailed that today? Like, what's that moment for you?
Yeah, it's a funny one, because it's not disposable. It's none of that. It's like, you've got to go away from the results. So as well. So for me, it was like, how can I be the best teammate out there for everyone else, and how can I contribute in a way that's not always disposed? And that is a big part of the game. Sort of is my role a bit, is my distribution and my run off half back. So there's going to be times where the ball's just not bouncing your way for whatever reason. You're just not getting the ball. So it's like, how can I have an impact without the ball? And sort of communication, and which is, you can't measure these things. So, it's a communication, the support for my teammates as well. And it's sort of hard to describe what's a really good game for me, because without giving numbers or whatever, but it's just, you sort of know you've given your absolute all to these contests, and you can walk off the field, pleased and satisfied.